Welcome to another Simple Invest video. So this is my trade analysis for yesterday, the 6th of January 2021 for USD Japanese yen and Euro dollar USD. There's two pairs that I'm currently actively trading. Okay, and let's see. Okay, adjust it. This. Okay. So let's start. First and foremost, we have the USD Japanese yen, and this is mostly losses for me today. Let's take a look at the record. 6 Jan, 6 Jan, 6 Jan, 6 Jan. Okay, so the first one was here. And this is a sell signal in my opinion because it broke through this support zone here, but unfortunately it barely, actually it doesn't really break through this support zone here. Looking back on it, I could have been a little bit more prudent in waiting this trade out. Like wait for this to break through this significant support zone here before I enter a sell trade. And as you can see, it actually bounces up here. So it wasn't a very clean breakthrough. In the end, it doesn't go through this latest bottom here, and it goes up and it stops me out for 50 points. So there was a loss there. And then the next one was here. So this was a buy signal, so to say, because it broke through this significant resistance zone here. Of course, there is a lot of prices around here, but I took this as a significant resistance point. So I did miss it. Like I missed this particular breakout. I only noticed it about 10 minutes later. So I choose to enter it at when the price was close enough to this level. Close enough to the original breakout level. But eventually I got stopped out as well, right? Yeah, the price swung just enough to stop me out for 50 points. Just enough. I would have gotten stopped out anyway further down the road as well. So swung out and stopped me out for a loss. And then moving on to the next one. So the next one was here. So I saw that this candle closed beneath this significant support zone here, and I wanted to enter a sell trade, which stopped me out again. Right? Price swung up, stopped me out again because it didn't break through all these prices here. And there was 3 loss trades. I took another 4th one here because I saw that price closed above this resistance zone here, so above this highest price here, and I entered a buy trade, which immediately again swung down and stopped me out. So there's already 4 losing trades there. Enter a 5th one. This was the 5th one. Did it take profit? I think it... Wait, did it take profit? I think it didn't. It just swung me out for a loss. Let me check. This was taken on 1450, right? Yep, unfortunately it swung me out for a loss. Okay, so the buy signal was here, right? When you see the price, the latest 5-minute candle, it broke above this resistance zone here. It broke above this zone, broke above the zone. Okay, maybe let's have 2 so that it's easier to see. Okay, so I'll use this as a form of illustration. Let's use blue. So you can see that the price here, it broke above this zone and it broke above this zone. So 2 resistance zones here. The candle closes above this. So this was a buy signal, right? But okay, what happened was I missed this particular candle. So I missed this particular candle and I actually entered it slightly below the entry point. Like I saw that, oh, the price was coming down, so there was a better entry, so I entered it. I missed the particular closing of the candle. I entered it slightly below, But as you would have seen, even though I entered in this point, I still got stopped out at about 50 points because the price dipped about 53 points against me. And if we look at it, even if we entered here, so obviously if we entered on the close of the candle, we would have been stopped out here because the price would have dipped 65 points against my entry rate here. So getting stopped out here before the price finally swung out and went for more than 200 points. It actually went up for 400 points. So, but my take profit target was 200 points, but I got stopped out here. So there was a total of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 losing trades on the USD Japanese yen. So there was a major big loss here. And what I'm doing is that I am considering changing my strategy for the USD Japanese yen. I'm considering to adopt my trailing stop loss strategy for the Euro Dollar USD to adopt it for the USD Japanese yen as well. But I will need to do a lot more back testing on the USD Japanese yen before I implement it on a forward testing basis. So we will wait and see. So there's still a lot more room to test this strategy out. Okay, so next up for the for the Euro Dollar USD, let's go to beginning of 6th of January yesterday, and let's analyze my trades. Okay, so you see that there isn't really a significant breakout, right? Until here, right? So you can see that this is the zone here. There is one resistance, second, third, and there's a fourth here. So this whole zone here is huge resistance zone, and you can see that price broke out above this, right? So the price broke up above the zones here. These are 3 resistance points, and the price broke out above. So that was a good buy signal, right? So I entered a buy trade. And I put so I'm using this Fibonacci retracement tool, which I customized for my own needs to place my trades here. And you can see that I probably put my stop loss around here, and the price actually swung down and stopped me out for a minus 1%. So 1% loss. Okay. And following which, let's see, there was a sell signal here. Okay, you can see that the price broke beneath this support zone. So this is a support zone here. You can see the support zone here. So the price broke beneath this support zone. So that was a sell signal. And I entered a sell trade. So I did miss it. So I missed this, the close of this candle, and I entered it actually slightly later when the price was a bit higher. So it was actually to my advantage that I entered it this way. Did I get stopped out? Yes, so I probably got stopped out again. So there's 2 losses already. For here, I probably put my stop loss around the top of that candle. Probably placed it around here. I probably got stopped out around here for another minus 1%. So there's another minus in the Euro Dollar USD. And the third one was here actually. So this was actually a breakout on the buy side. So there was a resistance zone here. I took this top of these 2 peaks as a resistance zone. So the price broke above, right? The price broke above these 2 resistance zones. So that is a buy signal. But I missed out on this candle. So I missed out on this, which I entered it slightly later. So I entered it here, but where did I place my stop loss? Let's check it out. So I entered it here. So I missed it for quite a fair bit before I noticed this trade. 710. Let's take a look at it. 6 January, 710. Yes, I did place a trade. I placed it on 714 actually. So about close to the end of this particular candle, when it broke through this particular wedge here. So when it broke through this wedge formation, so there's this kind of like a wedge formation here, right? So when it broke through this wedge formation, I took it as a buy signal and I entered it that way. So I entered it, and where did I put my stop loss? Initially was, no, I adjusted it out. I can't recall. Because my records only show my final stop loss, which I kept adjusting my trailing stop loss upwards. So I can't recall where I put my stop loss, but probably here. Let's see. Yeah, probably here. And while I was waiting for this trade, I actually entered another one. Wait, did I put my stop loss further down here? I think I probably did. Yeah. What was my trading size? 2.22. So I'm guessing I probably took my stop loss point here. Yeah. So I set a pretty generous stop loss because I used this as an initial triggering candle, put my stop loss here, and then rode this trade upwards. So this trade eventually did take profit for plus 2%. So it's round to plus 3. I think it took profit for plus 2% if I'm not wrong. Yeah, probably. So I probably shifted. That means as it went up, as the candles closed up, for example, as it closed above plus 1, I shifted it to break even. Closed above plus 2, I shifted it to plus 1%, and when the candles closed above plus 3 here, I shifted my trailing stop loss to plus 2%, and it finally stopped me out for plus 2%. So what was interesting was that yesterday I placed 2 consecutive trades in the same direction. So there was another trade which I placed here while that trade hasn't stopped out yet, because this was another breakout on the buy side, right? And I probably placed my stop loss probably around here. Because as you can see, this, if you look at this candle, so as well, so this was a resistance zone, this was another resistance zone. So this two form a resistance zone here, and when the price broke through, it was a buy signal, right? So it was a breakthrough on the buy side, and I entered it, and I rode it up all the way for probably a plus 2 as well. Looking that candle closed above plus 3 here, and then it dipped down. So I probably got a profit of around plus 2% as well. Plus 2 to plus 3%. I'm not too sure when I set my stop loss to though. Was it here? If it was here, it would have been a plus 3%. Because it does, from the amount that I took profit, it does look like it's a plus 3%. So that means I took a plus 2% profit here, plus 3% profit here, minus away minus 2% here. So overall, I ended up with plus 3% profit on the Euro-Dollar USD. And did I take any further trades? Yes, I did. So I took a further trade here. So later throughout the day, this is a sell signal. So you can see that this is support zone, and when the price closed beneath this support zone here, so the price closed beneath here, this candle is an entry point, so there's a sell signal here. So I entered it, and let's see, I think I broke even on this trade if I'm not wrong. Probably set my stop loss around here. Yep, so I broke even on this trade. So I set my stop loss around here in this candle initially and waited for the price to go up. So the price actually closed, let's see, my latest one, USDJPY, Euro-Dollar USD. Okay, so what I saw was that my guess, because I think I went to bid after setting up this trade. So my guess is that I saw that the candle broke through above here, and I set it to break even, and then I went to sleep. Because honestly, if following this Fibonacci extension, I should have set it to plus 1% after the close of these two candles here and here, and I should have gotten closed out for plus 1% profit. But I set it to break even, and then I think I went to bid. So eventually this trade closed out for break even according to my records. So closed out for plus 0. So overall I had a plus 3% profit on the Euro-Dollar USD, and minus slightly less than 3% because we have to minus away all the commissions I have to pay for each trade, which is about it's about 0.2% per trade based on commissions and bid offer spread. That's my estimate there. Okay, so overall the Euro Dollar USD is another profitable day, slight profit, not a very big profit, but it could have been another 1% more if I had managed this trade better before going to sleep. But yeah, so as I said, it break even went to sleep, and unfortunately the price swung up to trigger my the trade out at the break even point. So actually, in retrospect, if I had just set it at here at the stop loss level and just went to sleep, would I have lost it? Yes, because I wasn't awake at all during this time, so I probably would have lost it. So nothing much I could have done about that. At least I shifted it to break even, so I didn't take a loss on that last trade. Anything I can learn from my analysis of my trades for yesterday? Nothing much though. So placing these through trades is actually not within my system, not part of my strategy, but glad that it worked out. So normally based on my backtesting strategy, if I placed this trade and it was profitable, it was still going up, I wouldn't have placed another trade in the same direction. In the opposite direction maybe, but in the same direction probably not. So that was a bit of a extraordinary thing that I did, but it benefited me for this particular trading day. Nothing much I could learn from the Euro Dollar USD, and for the USD Japanese Yen, what I feel like I need to rethink the strategy that I use for this particular pair. Like I mentioned, I'm gonna start backtesting this trailing stop loss strategy that I use for the Euro Dollar USD on the USD Japanese Yen, and if my backtests for the past month turned out to be good, I'm gonna start using it. So I'm gonna start incorporating it into the USD Japanese Yen, and we'll see whether we will start forward testing it on the USD Japanese Yen. That means start trading it, but at a small amount. Okay, that's it. Thank you very much for watching, and this is the trade analysis for 6th of January 2021. See you guys next video.